Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Cyberpunk Book Club. I am your androgynous android host from the future, Nathan Blades, and with me this evening is the delightful Ruben. Say hello.
Hello.
Hi. You were really excited to get on this particular stream, this
Yeah.
particular game, which is great. This time round, we are going to be playing the Vaporwave first-person puzzle game. I think that's the way of describing it. Broken Reality.
Broken reality.
It
Like
was
the real one.
yes. I mean, I'm sure at least one character in the game will talk about we live in a society at some point because that's just the era that this game was written in. But yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I am already thinking of and seeing all the ways that this might link with Hypnospace Outlaw, which you also joined me on. Because that was also not intentionally vaporwave necessarily, but had the same energy and definitely the same visual aesthetic.
Yeah, it was more of like a '90s version of Mega Man Battle Network.
Yeah, they're definitely fighting viruses in a very unique, different way. I definitely see that. And neither of us have played Broken Reality. I've seen just like trailers and stuff. But what have you seen of the game prior to us playing it this evening?
Just now, some screenshots. I googled just Broken Reality, and it showed me the iconic Greek statue, the bust of Medusa herself, or Perseus. I think it was Perseus. As featured in the album cover for it. That's in the game, so we can expect some like true homage to the genre.
Yes. Yeah.
I'm excited. I'm excited for to explore this because I have a lot of artistic thoughts on Vaporwave as a movement, and I know a thing or two about the original artist of the of Floral Shop.
Ooh, okay. Yes, you absolutely have to tell me about that as we go. I think, like many other people, Macintosh Plus was also my introduction to Vaporwave as a genre with Floral Shop and Lisa Frank 420, which you heard a snippet of in our kind of standby holding screen. The iconic, probably kind of memey song, but I don't know, it's good. I just enjoy its chilled vibe. It's so nice.
It is really relaxing, yeah.
That kind of combination of soft pinks and the idea of nostalgia for an era you never necessarily saw. I mean, I'm a 90s kid, but there's definitely bits and pieces of that I never experienced directly that you get the faux nostalgia for in this, and I'm really looking forward to seeing that. There's also the likes of Blank Banshee, who does Vapor Trap. It's trap music with the vaporwave samples. It's very, very good.
Isn't trap too fast though?
I mean, that's the idea. It's kind of using the whole kind of selective sampling and pulling from retro music sources, but then also putting it to kind of like a fast-paced beat and so on. The actual play podcast that I do, the talent agency, its intro music is a Blank Banshee song, Ammonia Clouds. So that kind of sound I really unironically enjoy, which is strange for a music genre that was probably made intentionally ironically. You can tell that I unironically enjoy it because I'm even wearing a Vaporwave t-shirt right now with a little lo-fi hip-hop studying graphic on it. This is the trash that I am. This is fully my shit.
This is the schoolgirl has stopped doing her homework. She's going to be playing video games, and we'll be emulating her in spirit. The homework beats, the chill is off.
Yeah, no, it's not. It's chilling in a different way. We've done our studying time, and now it's time to plunge into the internet, so we can chill on this terms. Yeah. And actually, we can naturally move into discussing on Cyberpunk Book Club, because I am neither good at beating games or fast at beating games. I figured what I should do is talk about games as a medium and discuss their themes in comparison to other games in the genre. So what is Broken Reality? It is the future. and Supercorp NATEM is now responsible for offering most digital services. Your computer and the internet are all within NATEM's control. Leave your worries behind. Welcome to Broken Reality. So, yeah, this definitely has the similar kind of energy to Hypnospace Outlaw, and this is a game about chilling out on the internet.
Hey, that's what I do all day.
I mean, you know.
Hey.
I guess there's something of an irony to spending a lot of my free time chilling on the internet just normally, and then doing that within a game within a game meta.
Extremely Jacques Baudrillard voice, like there are layers within orders within realities. We have to go deeper. Hyper reality. Is this simulacra or simulation? Who knows? Are we part of an evil order? We'll find out shortly.
Yeah, no, there is an alternate vaporwave reality with marble bust people playing the video game of our lives. Absolutely.
Oh,
it alternates. Each level alternates between the vaporwave aesthetic and not all the way up. But
our Greco-Roman overlords allow us to believe we are just brains in a tank that make us believe we are living lives.
In a similar way to Hypnospace Outlaw, at the beginning of it framed itself in a way of it's about internet policing, but really it's just about weird internet communities and how people can kind of forge those communities in weird spaces. And I kind of fully expect this game to discuss that at least a little bit. There's so many subgenres, like any music genre worth its salt has a subgenre where people can be kind of sniffy and line dividing about, and there's so many different subgenres of vaporwave. As I mentioned previously, there's vapor trap, there's mallsoft, there's utopian vaporwave,
there's labor wave.
Labor wave would be interesting.
It is real. It's the aesthetic side of vaporwave definitely lend itself to a very online community sort of marketing or branding, or especially around the Corbyn campaign actually.
Ooh.
Back when he was doing this thing.
Yeah, I mean, of course, usually that music and politics always endlessly intertwine, but I'm surprised I didn't hear some dank Jeremy Corbyn beats during the election cycle, because I think that would have clinched it, to be honest. All he just needed to do was drop a sick record.
Well, here's the thing, there's labor wave, but for some bizarre reason, or perhaps not so bizarre, there exists also a subgenre called fash wave, which embraces explicit fascist themes and sort of brands it or frames it in the window dressing of sort of that retro aesthetic of vaporwave, which speaks to sort of the let's call it malleability of vaporwave.
Yeah,
as the aesthetic.
I can see that, because a decent chunk of vaporwave, I feel about vaporwave the same way that I do pop art, in that it's about subversion of existing consumerist media, in the way that pop art had Liechtenstein, who was kind of flipping comic books on their head. Vaporwave is about kind of taking those really chintzy adverts of the 90s and about an economic boom where we can buy all sorts of things and go to the mall and drink soda, and then turning that into ironic music. And then with anything done ironically, there's always going to be a number of people that engage that and be like, yes, that's the message, that's actually what this is about, and misinterpret it completely. I mean, even the marble bust stuff, right, where historically in museums, a lot of marble busts, when they were actually in their original environment, were brightly painted and had painted skin tone and things like that. And then the colonialist museum curators who found all these things and took them, basically blast washed them to remove all the paint, and then was like, oh no, they're supposed to be white because white is pure and beautiful. So it does not surprise me that there are fascists who see all the marble busts and buying fancy cars that vaporwave ironically extols, and be like, no, this is it, this is me now.
Yeah, that's there's a really good like there's a book by Mark Fisher called Capitalist Realism, where he describes sort of the spiritual affectations of living in a he calls it a post-Fordist, so like a late capitalist economy, and he talks about how culture itself, as a way, like culture, like as propagated by art, has to constantly, like, you have tradition versus like the new, and both the new has to adapt to the reaction of traditionalism, but that traditionalism also has to cope with the onset of the new. And in, like, he described that in late capitalist societies, like these aren't sort of like, this isn't a tug of war anymore, but because of like corporations and like aestheticization, these are balancing acts, and as a result we get more and more of the same, just repackaged. So it's more about like form is not developed upon. Content may be different, but forms are constantly rehashed, reinvented, and I think there's no better perfect encapsulation of this than Vaporwave, which is sort of like a fake version of the 1980s, as you say. Like this 1980s never existed. It's just like a fantasy using, or fantasies about like a past when things were
the endless intertwining mall with all the, because I mean, I went to the mall as a kid, and definitely it was not like the kind of malls that you see in Vaporwave content. I think this is we can actually convert those into the themes we expect. I think ironic capitalism or ironic consumerism is definitely going to be a big theme of this game, unavoidably.
Absolutely, and I think it's like a really good point that you mentioned. Like, you and I are 90s kids. We didn't get to live through the 80s, and the fact that this, like, Vaporwave is mostly heralded by people in like the mid-20s, like young 20-year-olds or mid-20s. They are nostalgic for a time that they didn't actually live through, which I think is a very interesting sort of psychocultural thing to latch onto, you know?
But that's in its own way has kind of become a big mainstream thing, running along parallel to Vaporwave. There's synthwave, right? A lot of the graphics that I use on my channel are what you would kind of call synthwave. Big kind of sunset in the distance, a visual neon grid, very Tron. And that aesthetic has been really, really heavily channeled in a lot of music and film that we're seeing now. Like Stranger Things as a TV show is entirely a love letter to the 80s, and so many people who watch it and are fans of the show weren't around for that time period. I watched the first season of that through, and was like, you could see all the times where they're like, hey, remember this, and I'm like, no, I wasn't alive.
Would you consider Ready Player One to be Vaporwave in that sense?
I would. It's interesting. I'm not a fan of Ready Player One, like, as a book, because it's a big list of references, and they are very much 80s references to instill nostalgia in a person. God. But the movie, as I understand, switches the references up a lot to reference a lot of 90s and 2000 stuff, because they're aware of the people who are going to be watching it, so they want to give that level of nostalgia for a new generation of people. And yeah, that makes sense, especially as a marketing strategy, which obviously that movie is supposed to be.
Yeah, that's like, the movie is an advertisement for things outside of itself.
It put Overwatch characters in it, which is very, very much not of the time period when the book came out, but it had to be there.
Bizarre, but Tracer's in there. That's why I recognize that intellectual property. That makes me like the thing more.
I guess then one of the things you expect is going to be a ton of period-specific references. There we go.
I hope so. I hope this game gets extremely obscurantive with what it's trying. Like, imagine a Vaporwave game that references like stuff no one gets. Like, it is an aesthetic that is like suddenly, it's like, instead of like pop music or albums or culture or films that were popular at the time, it's just indie home recordings, but we make it aesthetic.
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely a decent chance because obviously everybody's 90s experience, depending when you grew up in the world, is going to be different. There's lots of
Yeah.
very specific 90s things endemic to the UK that you wouldn't get as somebody who lives in the Netherlands, for example. So it's I guess I don't know who developed this, like what nationality they were, whether they were American. Because if they're American, then clearly it's going to have that very that brand of vaporwave aesthetic is inherently quite American. But what is like French vaporwave? I want to see that.
Ooh.
I mean, French vaporwave is, I guess, Daft Punk, but they're maybe French synthwave. I'm not sure. One of the two.
Yeah. Yeah, I think France is too. I don't know if you've ever like been in a French like commercial area or like what like a supermarket or something. Like the cities are completely bustling and always like there's a lot of people in there all the time, and it's a lot of like a giant mishmash of storefronts, people were like houses where people live, public spaces. Like it is definitely a city made by history. And then you have the countryside, whereas like there's just villages that have existed since like 400 CE. And then in between two villages there will be like a hypermarché, which is just like a Target in terms of like spacing and in terms of like what it sells. And those are sort of like the only sites of such like mall specific aesthetic, like oh let's hang out at the mall after school, let's go to the city. So I think geographically and like city wise, France is a really bad place for vaporwave. It'd be hard to imagine like a specific French quality to.
That's the I guess that's well, in the same way that you kind of find out what hip hop is like in different countries and what like punk music is like in different countries, there will be countercultural forms of music. I guess vaporwave is definitely like an art movement rather than just specifically a music genre. But yeah, I think after this I might go and dig up some international vaporwave and see what that is, what that be. But before we get into it, I'm ready. I'm just about ready to get going. Just playing some of the game. Are there any other themes we might expect?
Okay. So like I can't see the list.
Don't worry about it. So we have a game about chilling on the internet and therefore about internet communities, ironic consumerism and form over function, and a ton of period-specific references. How obscure does it get?
That's very good. Also like, what songs is it gonna slow down?
True. Do we recognize any samples?
Yeah. Is it gonna be? I want to hear Sonic Adventure 2 Live and Learn at 50% speed. That's a clear expectation I'm setting for myself.
Oh my gosh, yeah. We were listening to an album the other day. It was a couple months ago now, but we just kind of had a Vaporwave album on in the background while we were just chatting, and it used samples from Phantasy Star Online, and that really tickled me. That hit some nostalgia for me. Yeah. That was very effective at getting it where it needed to be in terms of hitting a specific memory and aesthetic in one go. It was choice. I'm gonna have to maybe on the other side of the game look up to see what album that is, because I definitely recommend it, even if I don't remember the name off the top of my head. But I think with that, shall we get into it? Shall we get going?
The podcast section is over.
Yeah, broken reality. Oh, mouse controls. Okay. Use the mouse to look around. Cool. Press left click to interact. Sure thing.
Let me turn off this floral Chopin. Whoa! Hey, thumbs up, buddy.
Yeah.
I like that. That's like an MSN as mouse. Or like hand.
Oh, wow. Psychedelia.
Yeah, should we put on the seizure warning?
Yeah, maybe. This may very well be a kind of game where the visual interface can get a bit wild. And movement is a little stuttery. We'll see. If that makes me nauseous, I might have to press tab to open adventure menu.
Okay. Whoa, it's a browser. How about that?
Rank. Sure.
Domo Paradiso.
We have super slowed down modem sounds, which ooh.
You're right. Pulse stretched. Oh my, that is genius.
That's great.
Pulse stretched dialogue.
There is
That's
the soundtrack comes with this game if you buy it on Steam, by the by. So yeah, if you're vibing with this, please do get the soundtrack as well. Middle click hide tool, 1 to 6 tool shortcuts, right click secondary action. Okay. Oh no, I don't want to quit the game.
digging this echo jumping over. Echo the doll.
Yeah, Echo Jams was like one of the first bits and pieces of Vaporwave, I think.
True.
Made by One Tricks Point Never, I think, is something that I learned relatively recently.
Whoa.
Oh, Oni-chan.
Oni-chan. Okay. Yeah, that's the thing Vaporwave does very well. Is it's like it enmeshes with like kawaii or anime fans very well. Pardon me, I must have confused you with someone else.
Where am I?
Don't worry, I've already prepared a newbie account for you.
Ooh, I'm gonna turn the volume of this down just a little bit for the audio output capture. There we go.
I am digging the like the models are good and also the profile picture. It's very 90s.
It reminds me so much of Digimon World, very specifically, and I'm not sure why.
True. Yeah, no, I see it. I suggest you meet. I suggest you to meet the top users that come here. Some floating parts all around us. And if you can become trendy, you can go meet the admin.
Trendy in all caps.
How cool is that? Your account will upgrade automatically once you reach the required amount of likes. Alright.
Please be
Please
patient.
be patient while I open this.
Ooh.
Okay. Done. Happy roaming, user.
Oh gosh, it is very, very loud. This is the soundtrack is great, but I'm deafening myself slightly, and I need to work out if there's a way that I can go and make that less miserable for me. Open volume mixer. There we go, and I can drop that down individually slightly.
Wow.
There we go, that's better. Oh. Leave. I like how I don't have a face. I'm just an anonymous MSN messenger looking ass dude.
Yeah.
Domo paradiso.
Okay. So we're basically this is again like a social media setting in a time or like an era, technological era where it could not have existed yet. Taps phone in Spanish. Cool.
I have to click on people to interact with them.
That's how you do it. Cloud trap.
The deep what?
What? Deep web. I do like this.
Oh my god, that is very, very believable to when I was like 15 and I was like, I want to make a video game. It's gonna be a great RPG with so many customizable elements.
It's going to be an FPS, and there's gonna be like World War II shooter elements in it, but then it's going to become a Gradius style shoot 'em up. It's gonna have everything.
Not a virus.exe.
Uh-oh.
Do I click on it?
Of course you do.
Oh, nothing happens. I guess I need some tools to get past that.
What? Maybe you'll find the tools in this saved VOP. What the fuck? This dispenses the Voynich manuscript. Okay? Look at those letters, Jesus.
Solved VoIP. Beautiful.
That doesn't even make sense because the delta.
Yeah, it's like
it says this.
I noticed that I can click on these ads, which are.
Yeah, more ads for likes.
Can I touch the poison rave water? I can. Ooh.
Oh my god! Hey, there's.
Ooh.
Ooh.
I don't have a.
10 for that.
I don't have a credit card. I don't think, but just chilling underwater.
Trimming in this oil spill.
Can I jump? I can't jump.
There's a person there.
Oi.
Hey, whoa,
Elf.
You're a Morrowind character.
I have to voice this Morrowind character. Why is everyone here such a noob? Oh, he's got something of an overbite. They haven't even made it to trendy yet. Oh, I'm sure you're trying, though.
Thanks, Rada, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Your motivation is endless.
I'll be trendy one day. Ooh, no, video games tell me there's something behind that waterfall.
Exactly. Gotta be right.
Nope,
No!
just a seizure behind that waterfall. Never mind.
Hospitalization. Oh, what is that art on the wall?
Don't look back. That's
so
definitely an album cover of some kind.
Oh, what is that weird plant? Is that like a peach? A rock?
Hmm. Yeah, the art style of the environment is very much, well, whatever.
It's hard to parse, yeah.
Oh, we've looped around again. Okay.
Hey, how about that? The Fuji water.
Hmm.
Okay, yeah, no, become the cloud trap rapper.
Have you ever had Fiji water before? I've never drank it.
It's I've drank some sort of iced tea, the Arizona iced tea.
I've had Arizona iced tea before. It's way too sweet.
Like I don't know about I've never had Fuji, so I don't know how much the hype is like. Oh my god.
Fine.
That's spooky.
Keep your secrets.
Fuck you.
I have to admit, like when I was playing through Hypnospace Outlaw, there was a surprising number of things in there that made me like jump, like when the audio was really unsettling and things like that. I was like, oh, this gives me bad feelings.
Yeah, Hypnospace was a horror game in some sense.
They've added mod support to that game now.
Oh my god.
Yeah, you can make your own cases and things like that.
My own web page.
Ooh.
Oh, I love that art. NWA.
Moai with attitude,
Maori's?
I guess.
Oh, Maori's with attitude.
Yeah.
Ooh. Or Moai, what are they called?
I think they could pronounce Moai. Ah.
Moai. My name is Dr. Drone. Mr. Drone, even.
MC Ram, so.
I'm DJ Advance. Sounds insufferable this afternoon.
Being a statue is what's insufferable, fool.
Would it be too much of an inconvenience to bring us some sunblock?
Sunblock. Will do.
Thank you so much. Find sunblock at the center mall.
Ooh, we
There's
get to go
a mall.
shopping. Shopkeeper's cap. Alright. And a pair of sunglasses for me while you're at it. Alright.
Oh, that's gonna be so cool. There's nothing cooler than like one of those big statues but add sunglasses. Mario did it. Your computer is not good.
Please use antivirus. Oh.
Please. Oh. Yeah.
Looking at that is a problem. There's like light interface screw when you get too close to glitchy things. Oh, need to save. It's MS Paint floor. Yes, very good.
Yeah, hell yeah.
I spent so much of my teenagerdom making sprites in MS Paint.
Same. I did so many Mega Men.
I've got to like all these. I assume like this currency of likes is useful to get stuff. So I'm just gonna.
Yeah, and the goal of the game does seem to be to accrue likes. Which I just pick that up.
Oh.
Ooh, lore. A sword?
Got katana
Yes!
part. Can I switch to it? I can't switch to the katana yet. I guess it's just the blade and not the handle. I guess they give just random dialogue. I don't think these people are like I shouldn't do that. That makes me dizzy. I guess these people aren't big, like they just give random A's phrases. Creative CEO. God.
Hashtag creative, hashtag CEO. Hashtag ruffle.
Ooh. Server noises.
Into the bowels of the beast.
Yeah, this is very Did you ever play the Dot Hack game on PS2?
No, I've watched.
They were underwhelming JRPGs, but they had fully randomized dungeons, so the dungeon textures had to be quite generic to be able to support what it was trying to do. And because it was a game about hacking, the textures would glitch occasionally, and it reminds me very strongly of that kind of tunnel of weird texture work.
Dark Dragons Inn says, or ask if this is Death Stranding.
Is this?
Yes, it is.
Yeah. No, I actually have a billion floppy disks strapped to my back, and I have to now carry that weight as I move through the cyberspace.
You have to like haul an entire caseload of old desk.
It's just a bunch of zunes, strapped to my body.
Your pager's going off like crazy.
Get those
Welcome to
lights.
Oh,
No, go ahead.
Super tech support. How are things going in Japanese?
What's Axis Plaza?
Access Plaza is named user distribution hub in Japanese.
Mm-hmm.
From there, you can quickly access other worlds if your account levels. Other worlds? Whoa, this is God of War now. Access all solutions, all one place.
Other worlds? This is part of Kingdom Hearts? I could very much believe that. Admin. Ooh, I can find admin.
Under the luxury pool.
It's
Hell
somebody's
yeah.
proper noun, or is that a location?
Pool's closed for maintenance. You may have to find some way to open it. Once there, he can grant you access to Access Plaza.
Oh, so admin is a proper noun. That's just their name. Okay, cool.
I wonder if that's just like a user who named themselves, like signed up under the name admin, and everyone just like, yeah, I guess you can be. Is your future safe?
Habeas
You
corp.
name yourself Baker. You're more likely to become a baker.
Nominative determinism is the term for that, I think.
Whoa.
It's because my name is Nathan Blades, I am destined to become a top swordsman.
A top swordsman. Where in the name is the
In Blades? Cause yeah. Chronic Adventures 2.
Whoa!
Dank 10 plus, of course. Of course.
Elisa Chronica.
Gotta like that shit.
Gotta go chill.
Oh, I missed that before. It was just behind me. Oh, look at this dude getting
that's
down.
Funky, man. Hey, man.
Hey.
Oh, look at you. You're so oily. You're just a meat. You're just meat. This is a rotisserie chicken of a man.
This is an alternate skin for Hakan in Street Fighter 4.
My God.
Yo, I brought a raw data tea for my crew and GF. GF, okay. They're all. I love this icon.
Yeah.
They're all coming from Geocity. Should be here any minute now. Want one? Hell yeah. Okay, but help me out with something. I don't want to get stuck in here, lol. I need a big bunch of likes so I can move on to Axis Plaza. How about you take a picture of me and I give you the tea in return? If you don't have a camera, I'm sure you can get one in the shacks along this beach. Don't leave me hanging.
So, we're on Cloud Quest? Yeah. There we go.
But I
God.
want the soda. I want these PNGs. I love that they are stored inside a RAW file.
This is so data. Ooh, yeah. We gotta go visit those beach houses.
The Pirate Bay.
Hey.
Of course. So some of these jokes are pretty current then.
Am I special? Check now.
Did I just miss 69 likes? Oh no.
Yeah.
The game's ruined. I'm gonna have to quit now. Can I move the beach ball? I can't. I can stand atop the beach ball.
It's your place now. Oh. It's the cutest.
We've got some bikini bottom vibes going on right now here. The soundtrack is good, actually. I really like the music.
Is this just like? Oh my God. I don't know if it's true, but this sounds like slowed down SpongeBob.
It has to be. Genuinely,
Yeah.
This is some proper SpongeBob vibes. Nope, locked.
Yeah, it is.
Nice.
Oh, that's.
So this is surprisingly current Vaporwave, if that makes sense. I mean, I guess SpongeBob is 90s, like late 90s, but
Oh, but it's still ongoing. Kids still grow up with it. Oh,
Or
that
do
seemed
it?
like-
Can I click on these and that opens them, or am I not allowed to get in? No, I can't get in. Okay.
Maybe in the back?
The photo
You
hut.
could get a camera in one of these.
I guess from this lady here.
Hey, we have one character model in this game. It's been a very unique day, hasn't it? Moments like this should always be shared with friends. Have you been making friends?
Yeah.
Oh, that makes me so happy.
Oh.
You know, you should always capture your memories with your friends so you never forget them.
Ah, and then the doors open.
People in these huts just love it when you take pictures of them. Take this camera.
Get equipped with camera.
That's
Oh.
a nice sprite.
Camera to take pictures of tokens in range. When not in range, they'll appear as black and white. More tokens in frame means more likes. Okay. So it's like a combo.
Oh. Oh, so you just shoot it out of the air.
It's now Pokemon Snap.
God, I just had an idea for Vaporwave Fatal Frame. That would legit be kind of terrifying.
Yeah, that would definitely be something. That's
look at all these people having fun.
Actually, is there any more out of the?
Infinity.
Yeah. Just love to be in a beach hut and on my phone. Or I say that like I haven't entirely done that. I've absolutely just gone on holiday and been like, I wonder what people who aren't here are doing.
Whoa. Anyone here like cars?
Hashtag surrounded by beds.
I love to post that. What's going on? Like, hey, anyone here? What's good in the hood?
I wonder if these pictures are saved, because it would be kind of nice to look through my weird aesthetic Snapchat adventure.
Check your adventure menu.
Ooh.
Oh my god.
I ranked up.
Do we have a logbook maybe?
I now have this crystal heart icon. Logbook.
Rising.
Now these are my quests.
Okay.
Items. I have part of a sword. And then just general controls. There might be a way to look. Maybe it's saving it. Maybe I have to New Game Plus it to be able to take pictures properly.
New Game Plus.
I mean, I don't know how long this game is.
Me neither. It seems like different world scenes like makes it sound like it's quite an adventure indeed.
Oh my gosh, it's Chronic the Hedgehog.
It's Chronic. It's him. Or her or them. I don't know. One step at a time, Chronic. Chronic! Gotta take it slow. Go with the flow. I love that. I'm exhausted.
Whew.
You like, wow, okay.
I mean, did this game come out before or after VR chat? Yes, I know. I managed to work out how to do that myself. Thank you. Because VR chat is essentially this, right? Where you're
you go and chat online as your Sonic OC, and then you do a racist Knuckles.
Yeah, that was a thing, huh?
It's this game came out late 2018 apparently.
Huh.
So yeah, we gotta take that. Good photo of Maminator.
Let's get a couple. Yeah.
Yeah.
Get funky, dude.
Right.
Thanks. My friends will love it. Have some tea. Bye.
Bye.
So communicative.
Yeah.
Gimme.
Those things just go on. Oh my god, lights don't suck.
They don't stop coming. How do I obtain tea?
I think you just have it now.
I guess so. It might be in my inventory actually. Hold on. Oh yeah, data tea.
Data tea.
Somebody wanted sunscreen. I don't think I saw it.
Yeah, they said it was in the central mall. I think we have to look.
And we've not been to the Central Mall yet. But we did rank up, so maybe I can actually do more things now.
True. Maybe the viruses. Nope, not those.
Something tells me that that's what the sword's for.
Oh, right. Data sword cut off. Cut off the virus.
Gordian blade. Ooh, floating islands. Oh. Yeah, go ahead.
Ever, like, just gone deep into like Sonic fandom communities?
No, not in recent memory, at least.
It is a trip.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's sort of fantastic what if you just leave certain communities online alone for a while, they'll just produce like establish like a group and an actual community around the weirdest shit imaginable. So I once found a whole Wikia page that was devoted to like an imagined Sonic the Hedgehog movie. But
Okay.
It featured everyone's OCs, and so far, like what I could find is that the community kind of like had a split, like it split into factions because they didn't know, like they had a kerfuffle over what to do with Sonic in the game or in the movie. So like, would he like fight alongside everyone? Because of course he got to fight Dr. Robotnik, or so one faction was like, okay, Sonic is there, he's fighting by our sides and helping us save the day, and another group was convinced like, no, we should like give Sonic a debilitating illness or something that makes him unable to fight, and that's how we enter the fray.
Because the OCs need to be able to actually like kick ass. So, fandom wikis are definitely an interesting time. While I haven't necessarily done some deep dives like directly, I used to listen to the F Plus podcast a lot. They do dramatic readings from places on the internet, ranging from silly fandom arguments to terrible recipes which they then cooked.
That's a stolen sprite from some game.
Oh, that's a second. Wi-Fi flowers, huh? Oh, Chozai. Take your shoes off. Oh, you do it. You do it.
So tell me, have you come to learn the path? Can you tell me what makes you worthy of my teachings? I like your attitude. Oh, his little fan is a Wi-Fi. I once kept this land free from malware and spam. But my katana was shattered into 3 pieces.
Well, I have one of them.
Bring them to me, and I shall reforge them with my sword for you. Then you will become my successor. Must also bring me a can of data tea. I don't know how we got those. It is very important to keep hydrated. Now go if you want to become worthy of carrying forth my legacy.
Yes, boss.
Quest added. Become a street samurai.
Yeah, love to be a data.
Oh.
Very good.
This is what Shadowrun truly believes.
Oh, this absolutely is like their version of the internet, like the Matrix, I think they call it. Yeah, this has to be some kind of terrible web space on like one of the faux Japan like corporation.
Yeah, I've always had a rough time sort of visualizing how like Shadowrun wanted its internet spaces to look.
I don't think they knew either, to be honest with you.
Yeah, it's like there's living web pages. I think I always go back to Mega Metal Network a lot. Because it just got the formula right. I think that's blade guard.
Got katana part. Yeah, so I guess it's the blade guard. Augment your polygons. Love to enlarge my polygons. Oh, there is a dog. There are two dog like weird JPEGs, and now the dog's gone.
The dogs are gone. Like the lion statues.
Aha, like the Shisha dog statues. Is that how you pronounce it? Dragon Road.
Oh shit!
I am not pro enough to get onto Dragon Road apparently.
You have to beat the rainbow track first.
I guess a good question is what level do I need to be to get inside the locked doors? Because I guess that's the what I'm missing, right? Or can I wander up here? I've not wandered up here, have I?
I did like that song. It's like I don't know what like the oh hello. The sort of like I don't know if it's part of Vaporwave, but the sort of like sample heavy electronic like down tempo. You know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah. That's definitely like part of the space of it. Because another part of Vaporwave is the kind of like channeling that weird obsession with East Asian culture. Yeah. And that's been explored in different ways. Some of it is just kind of like, Japanese as a language is interesting, or the aesthetics of just an entirely different like written style of language, and you can take a picture of a frog for mad points.
I relate to that. Yeah. I suppose it's like taking over sort of cyberpunk's endemic, and that all started with Neil Stevenson and like Snow Crash. Hey, like the obsession with Japanese, because you know the idea of like the Japanese mega corporation taking over the American capital, that kind of thing. Like that was a real scare at the time.
Tired as fuck. Oh, that one's locked.
Oh, yeah.
Weird.
Oh. Or,
well, whatever.
Maybe because the shisha was in front.
Oh.
Hey, bookmarker.
Right, left click to
waypoint.
use bookmarks. Q and E to browse the tools in your dock. Yeah, A. And so now I can hit tab and get to my location, and then is that marked?
Oh, that's cute.
Or is it? Oh well, okay. Teleport back to. Add to, and then teleport to bookmarks, so I can.
Oh, those fish, they're error messages.
Ha!
That's cute. Oh, and the red X is their eye. Clever.
Yeah, the texture work in this game is actually very cool.
And it's yeah, like the thing about like, the Orientalism, I guess that it's fair to call it. Like Shadowrun, I remember reading Shadowrun's first edition, and I was just completely bewildered when I was reading the classes, and like you didn't have hackers, which was an accepted term at the time, like in cyberpunk spaces. I almost said cyberspunk.
Different tabletop RPG.
And it said otaku class, because with the implication that only the Japanese are nerds. And I was kind of like, that's
Is this really what you're trying to do here? And then I can teleport to my bookmark before the stairs disappear. Yeah.
Interesting.
Puzzles.
That's a cool puzzle actually.
Oh.
I actually didn't expect this game to have puzzles, but yeah, gameplay.
I from the moment it was kind of like you can't jump in this game, I was like they're gonna like make use of that. By the fact that I can't get mad ups by myself clearly means that there is that kind of navigation of the space is very important. Luxury pool. Oh yeah, because it's broken, so I have to get access to that later.
What was your favorite cyberpunk sort of thing? I don't think I ever asked you that.
I mean, for the longest time, if you want to kind of talk about utopian cyberpunk, if that's a thing, or like post-cyberpunk, it would have been Transistor, closely followed by Mega Man Battle Network. But if you're kind of talking more in the realms of traditional cyberpunk, where it's high-tech, low-life, then it would be Ghost in the Shell standalone complex, like the TV show.
Yeah.
It was a, which was just also a very, very well told detective drama, and I'm always into a good fucking mystery. You can tell I'm not very good at first person games. I'm just bashing
Yeah,
into
like
everything. Sorry. But yeah. Ghost in the Shell's very kind of. It managed to do the noiry idea that stuff like Blade Runner had done prior to it in a way that felt unique to anime, in a way, in a way that like Blade Runner can't do by being a movie made in America as opposed to an animation made in Japan. Just by medium and cultural history means that they end up being quite different experiences in the end, even if the
right.
base aesthetics are the same. Yeah.
Yeah, I always appreciated Ghost in the Shell's approach to like the conversation about Lieutenant Kusanagi's identity,
Mm.
because she's like a human soul in a robot, I think. Was
Yes.
the
Yes, that's right. Oh god.
eh,
Now I'm gonna have to remind myself how the fuck I get back to where I was going before I'm immediately lost again. Continue talking while I find out where I'm supposed to go.
oh, I think those little question mark symbols are your quest.
Mm. Mm.
So I think we have to go to the leftmost one.
Ah, right,
'Cause
right,
that's
right,
where
right,
the
right.
sense
Yeah.
is. So yeah, I remember the scene, like the closing scene of the movie, like when Kusanagi defeats the like a mastermind AI, and it has this like big tirade about like identity and like datafication of identity in sort of like the language of the future, but like what a 90s like a thing produced in the 90s would think about the 2020s, right? And it always struck me as like how prescient and accurate these narratives get to be, like how really like how well informed all these directors, I guess Kojima falls under it as well,
Yeah.
how much they understood technology, at
Kojima
least
did
from
a lot of, I guess, formative work with the likes of Police Snorts and Snatcher in terms of talking about the representation of the future. In a way that does filter a little bit through the Metal Gear Solids in different levels. I've always found Metal Gear Solid 2 to be the most clever and prescient with speaking about future nature, not even just like her memes, but how people react to the internet and how people can be manipulated through fake news and radicalizing internet users who are inexperienced with the wider world are things that are very, very now for a game that came out in like 2006, even earlier than that, like 2004. So yeah.
And it's definitely like the thing that Solus has to say about the cycle, just bombarding you with information but never having narrative. That is the like just the thing that's happening all the time now. And this is in part like this is the news cycle where we hyperfixate, or where there's like a hyperfixation on gestures, on symbols, on spectacles, such as we all remember the video of like, haha, American President Donald Trump puts bait into the koi pond. That's us. And then we talked about that for months on end, without actually anything relevant to say. It was just like fixating on that, like and just producing more and more information about that singular event that didn't really matter, and not really shackling it to like a cogent narrative. And it's definitely the age of overstimulation, I feel.
Yes.
Oh my god, you did it. You destroyed a man. Yes.
All right, so now we can get through all these virus barriers.
Can you use it on the old man?
I am a healer, but no, they are immune to the cyber blade.
I like the bubble foam sword.
The little trail that goes behind it is very good. It's a shame that I'm not in third person, because I would quite like to see the trail it leaves behind as I move. That'd be quite fun.
Oh, yeah. Watch out!
A whole space.
This might be the central mall. Oh yeah, This is
Yeah,
very
this
simple.
is more soft.
Finally, why we're playing this game. You're here. Having a blast. Hashtag. Yo, fuck garbage.
Ooh, 40% off. Fashion.
Cargo short and tie-dye shirt.
Fashion.
Yes, that is fashion.
The texture work of like using corrupted windows as like marbling effects on the stonework is 10 out of 10. I don't know why I love the texture work in this as much as I do, because it is technically a gigantic fucking eyesore, but still into it.
Because I guess this falls under glitch art. And glitch art is massively interesting.
Glitch art is very, very cool. Oh.
I'm happy you finally joined us. You look good today. Have you been eating well? No. Oh dear, what's the matter? You do know you can always come to me for support, right? Here, you can buy anything you want with this card.
That fixes it. That fixes the problem.
Yeah. Just here, spend, become a consumer. Don't strain yourself too much.
Gimme. Got card.
Got card.
Junior shopper.
Alright, can we just have...
The more you spend, the more likes you get.
Okay.
That's the game. That's the entire game. Good. I'm gonna buy a diamond. Oh.
Infinite money? I guess it doesn't matter. Yeah.
Huh.
I guess just keep it. I guess it's just a matter of spend money to get likes. Social currency. You can buy it now directly.
Oh boy. I mean, I wasn't expecting any of this to be subtle, but yeah.
100% on juice. Hindu. Welcome to the Hindu Veda. It's about juice.
Getting juiced while meditating.
We're on that. That's scary. We're on that Shiva vibe right now.
Might fuck around, spend some cash, and find Nirvana. Who knows?
Capitalist Nirvana.
Well, what else?
Like a cult somewhere.
That is the mall. Capitalist Nirvana is the mall. When you purchase an item in a combo, counter will start. Buy the required item shown before the time expires to get a bigger combo. Next item appears for a combo like this. Okay, so I have to find the right style of shades and do a combo. So I'm gonna buy this one.
This, of course you are.
And I have to get those sunglasses, which are... I don't see them... These ones?
Oh no. Oh yeah. And then to the left, I think, on the left.
Ah.
Yeah.
This game requires a surprising amount of dexterity. Heart-shaped. I saw those. Those are here.
Nope.
Studied shopper.
No.
Let's try the game again, I guess. Oh yeah, you can just keep going.
Until, yeah.
They have the crossbar on the top.
Oh, you were looking at it.
Oh yeah.
Extremely
These ones.
dumb academic voice. The mall as transformed phase. Youth culture versus consumerism.
What game is this? Is it this one? No, it's not. It's not. It's these ones.
That one, yeah.
Almost done. Last one. Pro Shopper.
Pro Shopper, we bought product.
I'm gonna yell at her about it.
Oh, I love this Cyber Elf.
Just a few more days and I'll be able to afford supplies for the journey back home. What? I wonder how people buy so many items. Maybe I should get one of those credit cards.
No, don't.
No, don't.
You can do. God. The journey home. The big data. Like the big Data excursion.
God, I love me some just goddamn young flesh in a circle. Great, good,
Young
good.
Flesh. Cyber pilgrimage. You did it.
Love the young flesh. Absolutely great.
That's my next like queer cyberpunk.
There was that
Young
one weirdly surreal like Dilbert cartoon that was like
Yeah.
surrender yourself to the new flesh or something.
where he has a shootout in the.
Over Cool Whip. Early 2000s internet, man.
God. Yeah, like that. I've been going through a lot of Aquid recently, and that comic is genius. It's
Yeah.
fucking funniest. Like the comic of little Phil just having like Sketcher shoes, but every time he takes a step, it goes.
Here comes a special boy. Yes.
Here comes a special boy.
Oh, this is hard mode.
Oh yeah.
All right. Let's
Whoa. Cool alien.
Yeah, I'm gonna check the alien first.
How can I help you? Hello. How can I help you today?
Sunblock.
Oh, sunblock. We've got sunblock in the third sphere, right? Cool.
Oh no. Oh, add rad
Cool.
block.
Next to the drinks.
That was $5,000.
Oh my god. Oh, look at that collie. Melancholy! That's clever.
I'm gonna go and buy some Arizona iced tea.
Memes!
A bottle of Cholo Brew. Okay.
Dr. Pervert. Oh yeah. Sick beats, bro.
This music's actually really good. I like the music in the store.
404, I think. Oh, just some water.
Fuji.
The Fuji water.
Chips.
Potato chaps.
Menthol Doritos. Ugh.
Blueberry. Ooh, don't like that.
Cherry Coke.
Oh, I know this song.
Oh.
It's a very weird bossa nova mix of a dismemberment plan.
Huh.
I think it's respect is due. At least I recognize the melody from that song. Like,
it's this one.
Conversation aside, I guess you'll never tell it. Oh, that's that 4chan coffee?
Probably. I don't know. I've hit like a weird fugue state of buying. This buying combo is unreal.
You're in a chat. You were looking at it.
Master Shopper. That's good enough.
Let's take a look at these products.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Flaming Chola, fresh menthol, berry snacks, and hot tortilla makes sense. Yeah, but there was like blueberry, Cholo Brew, 404 Shrug, No Scooped, Satanic Cola, Fat Kid,
Fat Kid. That is
Sprite Sheet. Yes, very good.
Isn't that like a DMC Devil May Cry where they had like one of the evil guys, a soda, a soda factory?
Oh yeah, from DMC. Yeah. It was basically like
it was called Fat Kid or something. I don't know things of it.
Crystal Beppis is
Crystal Beppis. FaceTime.
Is this really going to be me just spending the entire time I play? What? Oh god, yeah. We're just gonna spend the entire play session of Cyberpunk Book Club looking at these absurd in jokes.
Yeah. It's like product. Yes. This really is like, I don't know, like I do get a little sense of the same sense of overwhelm I get when I'm in like a big store or a shopping mall.
Okay, yeah.
So like the bombardment of brands and lights and
a ton of information all in one go. Yeah.
Yeah, it's always a little overstimulating because it's not supposed to be pleasant. It's like very activating. And I guess this game emulates it very well. But what I'm always interested in is like, to what degree, like, do the makers intend for this to be a good thing, or like whether like there's a ton of debate. Like, is Vaporwave an ironic aesthetic, or is it now at the point where
people are
like,
genuinely engaging it as
yeah.
yeah. I mean, you know,
like,
using art to discuss pop culture is a thing, or like modern culture is definitely something that's been around for forever, right? And I think Vaporwave is still an example of that, of using art to discuss and parody culture. Oh, they said something about the hat belonging to... I didn't see a hat, but it's not important.
I got sunscreen at least.
Oh, shades, sunblock, and the storekeeper cap. I have to get shades as well. Didn't I buy shades?
You bought out a shade store.
I do have shades, but I need the cap.
Okay, you just need the hat. Yeah, but what I feel with Vaporwave is the case that it is just aesthetic without, like, because I don't get narrative from this. I don't get a sort of deeper meaning. And maybe that's not the point. Maybe it is just
yeah, maybe there's an overarching story to this, but I agree with you. I don't know how likely that is, or if a story is even important. I guess that too is part of the joke of the genre, where it's supposed to be a frivolous visual experience, and gaining something like a story is not really the point of the matter. But
there's always like the gameplay of this reminds me CD-ROM educational game I got with a VHS.
Ooh.
Or of no, not VHS. A little later, like a CD, not even DVD, maybe a DVD, early DVD of Titanic, which was a game where you were a visitor of a virtual museum about the Titanic. And something about this style of gameplay is walking around, seeing sights. Like, it reminds me of like those educational games, except the point is not to teach you anything. It's more like to either. Well, I think this is where we get
the hat store. Yeah. It's definitely a virtual museum of a kind.
Because the point is to emulate, like, or to. Oh my. Ugh.
Yeah, no, I was like, oh, I don't like that.
Arizona spelled differently.
A.
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 Smaller hat.
Oh, it's being made harder by the things being far away now.
Oh my. Ugh.
Fine, whatever. I had to steal it from the shopkeeper. Right, cool. I don't need to do this, but for some reason it's so relaxing. Like, oh yes.
Like memory. Feeling high. Yeah, I guess there is like a weird, either therapeutic or just a enthralling quality.
It's like, I want to max out my combo meter. By the fact that the game basically tells you that if you play this well enough, you can buy everything in the store in one combo. You're like, well, I want to do that then, don't I?
I want to have that experience because I know I won't be able to do that.
Ha!
Floral shop.
They said the thing. They did it. They did it, lads.
Reference the thing that started it all.
Oh, I should have put the waypoint by the Moai heads. I'm dumb. Oh well. Because your walk speed is it's reasonably quick, but like the island is actually quite large.
Yeah, it's surprising amount of just area in this game.
I assume this the map that it gives you is actually everything you can see on the island. So looking forward to that fucking thing. Because otherwise we've been almost everywhere aside from the pool, I think. Huh.
Yeah.
This game might actually be quite short.
Yeah, if the point is just to
Just.
get enough likes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oh yeah, about the artist behind Floral Shop.
Yeah, go ahead.
Like her name is Vector. Artist name is Vectroid.
Mm-hmm.
And like, when she is also the Dragon Road is open.
It's just Yakuza back there. Just the video game Yakuza.
Because Yakuza font Vapor. Oh, he's drinking it.
Mm-hmm. Healthy.
Oh, he's looking fly. He's looking fly.
Mm-hmm.
She like she released it with the idea that this is like, vaporwave as a genre is. Let me see if I can find. It was definitely intended to be more, like ironic. The intention was to like be a parody of aesthetics by making a meaning aesthetic. So art for art's sake, you had the iconic album art of the Greco-Roman bust of Perseus. You had like the weird like Miami style 80s like funk cover background, bunch of palm trees in there, Japanese text. It was a meaningless mishmash of things, much like the early Dadaist. That's in historical parallels.
Cultural art has repeating themes throughout time. What?
Good at the canon. Yeah, and I definitely understand. Like, I see the intent there, and like the slowed down music. It's not actually creating something new. It's just, again, like taking content or like keeping the form, slightly altering the content, enlarge your bandwidth. And like her initial release, like it got the point across. Yeah, this is ironic. It's not meant to be enjoyed superficially. There's a lot behind the idea, but because it's just an aesthetic, right? Even though she put a lot of care into producing like a very specific, sterile thing. Super. A lot of people were like, "Oh, it looks cool. I don't have to think about it, and it's easily replicable." And yeah, like hyperlinker.
I see.
Now it gets into an actual platform. Oh, those are those things.
I mean, they were all around, like so we can hook shots.
Yeah, like Legend of Zelda hookshot. God, do you remember in Twilight Princess, did you get the double hook claws?
Oh yeah.
And there was I remember watching the two best friends play through, and they made a really funny joke about like Link just getting consecutively more claw shots and running out of places with them. So it's like, oh, I've got 2 claw shots on my hand, 2 on my legs. There's 1 on my pelvis. Where does the 6th one go? I guess it'll go around my neck.
In my teeth, like Zorro.
Just like I can go anywhere, and then the joke was like that he uses the claw shots all at the same time, and he just gets pulled apart.
Where the fuck do I even go from here now? I guess.
I'm like, Floral Shop came out 2011.
Oh, that
seems like such a long time ago.
Yeah, it's both a long time. Oh, okay, there we go. Teleporting. Oh no, that was a bad thing. I fell to my death. I see. Yeah, no, I guess that is actually now a long time ago. We saw a very elaborate warping jump puzzle through the glass. Oh gosh. Yeah, that. Just, I can see all the warping places prioritized through the glass. I wonder how high I can get. How high I can get in this. There's been only like, well, 2 or 3 weed jokes. I was somehow expecting more.
Yeah, no, that was feeling high.
That's surprisingly restrained of this video game. It didn't need to be restrained. In fact, I'm surprised that they had the range, as it were.
Yeah. This game is more in line with XCC anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, we can slash the first virus signs apart.
Oh yeah, there was some near the beginning area. There's probably like secret areas now that I can get into. No, nothing back here. Okay. This is all to get inside one goddamn pool.
Just to meet the admin.
Yeah, man. The admin is the end goal.
Did you ever have that, like in your forum days when you tried to really impress the moderators?
I mean, yeah. You want to be a cool guy. So the moderator thinks you're cool, even though the moderator is either literally just your age, or so significantly older than you, then striking up anything resembling an emotional relationship is a bad idea for both of you.
Yeah, I always got the looking. I used to frequent a lot of forums, and I definitely tried to suck up to the moderator as much as I could, and it was like not so much an older brother figure as it was like, hey, this is the street cop, you know, the community patrol, like just they have a lot of power. They decide who comes and goes in this forum. Better get on their good side. I remember, I bent my 10-year-old ass backwards trying to impress them, which of course never happened because a 10-year-old's idea of impressing someone involves, hey, look, I made an MS Paint drawing.
It is of your OC. Although I found out in trying to dig up information about my OCs back in the day that we used to apparently call them PCs or personal characters.
Cute. There's a jump pad.
Yeah, there's a couple, but I'm not quite sure where I want to go. Just pulling me over there doesn't do too much. But like, I gotta find ways to ascend.
Okay, do you have to combo, you think?
Oh man, if it requires that level of dexterity from me, we're gonna be here a long time.
Okay, you're up here.
Alright. Where to next? That one. Won't let me interact with that one. That one's too far away. This is just for the view, I guess.
Yeah, that's nice. It's giving me a light headache.
Yeah. Where do I even go next? Oh, it's the pool area that I still don't have access to. So there's probably something there.
Look at how much we are in debt.
Oh god, yeah, we just spent all that money.
On Vaporwave.
Meet the admin. Oh, mate, rank my way up to trendy. How far rank am I? I am only at eggplant.
No, but we're almost trendy.
Trendy. Right. I guess I should be taking more photos or whatever.
I guess so.
That's fine. We can
Oh, secret area.
We did manage to get up here previously, but it means I can now shortcut my way up here, I guess. Yeah, this is a lot. Ooh, just slowly descend. Too far. No, no, there we go.
You're too uncool.
So yeah. I guess it's specifically getting all the. No, I can't use the.
To get 800 likes.
But the only way I can get to that view is by.
There we go.
Putting up there.
Oh, that's just the big area. Yeah. Beautiful.
Oh, just put the camera away. No, I'm good.
Very vaporwave.
Ah.
Yo.
Ah.
Oh.
Am I in range? Am I in
Regular.
range? Yep, just. Oh. Alright. But I need to set the waypoint marker there, or it's gonna kind of go away like last time. Yeah, cool. So how do I get the fuck back down? Oh no, it's still open. Lucky.
Run, run, run.
Yeah, my tiny little cyber legs. Okay, we did it.
Set run speed to fat. Whoa.
Oh.
What do those jets have to say?
Wait. Oh, where's my phone? Wait, I'm holding it.
The Jeep what? Oh yeah, they do say.
We have sad vaporwave now, I guess. Sad chill vibes. The party's over. It's 3 a.m. and everybody's gone home.
Oh, this sounds like a sad ballad from the 80s.
Mm-hmm. I like that we get to the luxury pool and it's just depressing.
And it's just maybe that's the point of the game. Getting to the top and getting $17,500 in debt. Never worth it. Because why did you do it?
For the Instagram clout.
I did it for the likes. I had to do it. It's the only way, Oni-chan.
For the gram. Perishes.
Do it for the fun.
Perish.
Oh my god.
Feel high, lift me down.
Alright, let's go.
Oh. But.
Whoa.
Ooh.
Ooh.
This is a cool
MS
pad.
Paint.
As stained glass, that's cool.
Oh. That looks like Minecraft. In a good way. Ooh.
This is very Suda 51 Killer 7 vibes.
A little bit.
Let's Suda 51 do a vaporwave video game.
Yeah. I wonder. Yeah. No More Heroes 3 is coming.
Very true.
Oh, who knows?
I've been told that the No More Heroes 2.5 is, while maybe a miserable game to play, is very profound as a storyline.
Yeah. I watched Anna play it, and it's very text, like it's a top down hack and slash. That's not the fun part. The fun part is the conversations, and they Travis has really deep conversations with very weird stereotypes of villains, but their motivations and worldviews are very fleshed out, and they constantly have conversations like pre and post battle that are kind of that are impressive for a game about use your fake lightsaber on foe. Whoa, cool art.
It's just random Dreamcast controller in the background. So, this is the admin.
Cyber Grace Jones.
You come a long way, honey. I knew you'd make it. I'm so proud of you. You're finally ready to leave, so I'll open the way to Access Plaza. Oh, it's on fire, okay. I'm sure you know things are not quite like what they seem. So be very careful who you trust. I'll be looking out for you, baby. We'll talk very soon.
Can we just party, Grace Jones?
Grace Jones with vitiligo and a cool hat.
Yeah, cyber. Yeah!
Wait, before you go, I have one last thing to say. The basis and source of this world has been corrupted for a long time. Sigma tried to bury it, but now I think I've finally found the altar. It guards the origin.
What? Oh my god. Are we...
That's not a thumbs up. I want to give it a thumbs down, but I can't. No.
This is sad face. Please.
Oh, the music cut out. Very atmospheric.
Mm-hmm.
I like how we actually managed to get inside without getting to rank up because I managed to find some way of Wait, how do I get out again? Because I had to hit the thing before. But that's only on the surface, so how do I get out?
Oh, there was like a door next to her office.
Oh, sure.
Yeah, like I'm getting excited because it seems that there's a story after all. Like, to the left, maybe in the hallway.
Interesting. Did I screw up?
Turn around.
No. It seems that this room's a dead end. I don't see any exit in here.
Just keep facing the left wall. Is that? Oh, that's not a door. Okay. I thought it was. Oh, maybe.
Nope. Just fixed
water.
things. Oh, there we go.
Down to
But. Oh, I see what I need to do. I need to put the waypoint here. And then hit this and... Oh, hold on. So... There we go. Fiddly, nice. But doable.
Man, where do we...
Right.
Oh, I have to jump from that pedestal. Yeah.
Yeah, I guess so. We're going to make my way up there.
Cyber heavens.
Hyperlinker.
I'm just alone with the melancholy and knowing that the admin has been whisked away.
So, you know, somebody's like, hey, this is a place that you need to go to. Go here. It's cool. And it was on fire. Don't know if that's the vibes I'm looking for, man.
No, it's just like this club is jam hot. Because, you know, that's how it is.
Oh, the entire map is loaded at once, actually. That's quite impressive.
Yeah.
I figured looking up might be fun. Whoop.
2001, the Space Odyssey begins. Whoa. Is this... Oh my god.
Yeah, the aesthetic is a little different. Access Plaza. It's got very Rugrats.
Oh. Nightcore.
It's the most personal form of expression.
Oh my god, that's the antagonist. Nightcore is like anathema to Vaporwave.
Yeah, I guess is the I can't quite reach that one. Let's save. Not that it really matters.
I think the funniest video on YouTube is Diana Ross Make Your Move Vaporwave Nightcore mix, and it's just a song played at regular It's a really well crafted joke.
Alright, what's up here?
Yeah. Ooh, a real person. And a cool alien.
Do we like this vibe more or less than the previous area?
This is just a Sega Genesis. Dad.
I guess that's the alien speaking. Even though I clicked on him, whatever.
Wait, the guitarist from U2?
I guess.
That Edge?
Hey man, I told you, Geos.
GeoCity's where the good stuff's at.
Okay. Alright.
Thanks, The Edge.
Have fun, The Edge.
Monsters.
Add monsters. Was that a hint?
Whoa.
Oh, further shopping for bits and pieces, although I don't really care unless there's a specific puzzle.
Gas dog.
Can I jump now, or is that just... Oh, shit!
No.
Well, the water like that.
What does it say?
Reality doesn't matter anyway, somebody said in monospaced font.
Ooh.
Yeah, this seems to be very, very vertical, but without the grappling hook. So I guess the puzzles are different here.
Yeah.
The land doesn't wave back.
That's cute.
I need 3,000 likes to be able to get on the cruise ship, apparently.
Okay, well, let's find for the button that opens.
Yeah, that's true. I quite respect the fact that it's like, oh, you could go through and just like incredibly slowly like click your way through to finding all the things, or you could actually just find a way to cheat it out and speed it up. Yeah. I definitely appreciate, because I want to play this shit all year.
Okay, thanks for exploring the world. Oh my god, it's Orkman.
It is Retapro. Only 3,000? They always make these things easier, don't they? I heard rumors about a secret way in. Here's a little help. You seem like you need it, winky face.
Kill you.
So this game sometimes has invisible walls to stop me from falling off, and sometimes not. So, well, there we go then. That answered that question.
Oh yeah.
And they put me back to the entrance. Speedrun strats. Can't jump, so can't go that way.
Did we talk to our faithful companion Oni-chan yet?
Have we seen her?
I think she's in the lobby somewhere.
Oh, okay. I'll
She's right here.
track her down after I spend an unnecessary amount of money. There we go. Oh yeah.
There she is.
She's in a big... No. She's still in the kind of weird pink Sailor Fuku.
It's so wonderful that you made it. I always knew you'd get here in no time.
Mm-hmm.
This is Apex Legends. Access Plaza. It's Layton.
Professor Layton's hub.
Oh, it's 419. Almost nice.
Oh.
Took up slightly. And if it's love you're looking for, try out the Love Crew. Please avoid the entrance to Aquanet. It's in dire need. Oh, Aquanet. Bet you have a grand time. Happy roaming, user.
So it's like, hey, come back there later when you have things you can do. So cool. Thank you for the hint, Oni-chan. Sister, big sis.
Sister, sibling.
I like that they're all on iPad circles. They're just playing Monster Hunter together. It's fine.
Yeah. Oh. You might sleep with me.
Never dream. Ooh. This is I mean, I guess walking slowly from lake to lake is also quite a slow way of doing the thing. So this is like using the photography mode as you walk around is supposed to be the best way of getting a... No.
Supposed to.
Oh,
well,
there's a link up there, although it's a little high up.
It's a 1,100 to go. Cyber flamingos and a fun... Oh, hell yeah.
Look at this boy.
Hey, dog.
Hey. Oh, no. Do you want a ticket or shall I?
You can have it.
Hey, don't tell the captain I'm here. Okay. Thanks. That's it. That's it. Wow.
That's it for this guy.
Hiya, Car Black Steel. How's it going, Tom? What's good? Yeah, this is Broken Reality. It is searing vaporwave nightmare, and I am actually enjoying it quite a bit. It's surprisingly enough a platform puzzle game where you can't jump. Aha.
Hey. And we have the badge. Oh. Whoa, is this lore?
Oh, I guess so. Can I?
The gods Oh, this is a Dark Souls game now.
The deep
They
lore.
enslaved them to the Bluetooth trident.
Tom might actually join us on stream in a bit, which would be cool. Hopefully we'll see him in a bit when it's less ice searing. Wow. Yeah, no, this is an entire plot line apparently. Huh.
Versus VHS.
Betamax versus VHS. They fought, rebuilt it. Hi, hello.
Hello.
How? Yeah, this is a surreal, intense digital nightmare, and I enjoy it a lot. Do you remember how to get onto screen share?
Yes. Go live.
So let's. I'm gonna go and I'm gonna go and mute myself on OBS very briefly.
Yep. Yep. Okay. Is it on the one you've just linked? Oop. Oh, right at the top of all the chat. Got you. Okay. I'll come join in a sec. Good God, there's too much chat in here.
Okay.
No.
Yeah, there we go. It's
Right, I'll
the
stop.
thing is
I'll
solved.
find it eventually. And
I
stop
believe in
interrupting
you and your skills.
stream.
Meanwhile, this twisty nightmare tube. Oh, it's actually a warp point. Okay, cool. Yeah, I continue to be surprised with how much this game is. I assumed there was less content than this somehow. Like it would just be the first. Oh. Ooh.
Whoa! That owns.
Okay. Yeah. Post-apocalyptic, weird.
Castles, here we go.
It feels very. Again, I think I brought up Dot Hack earlier in the stream, talking about the aesthetics of that. How that game dealt with kind of corrupted areas was visually a lot like this, of using regular models for the space and then absolutely fucked up textures.
I like those men.
Yeah, it's wiggling.
It's got a bit of a you my Nikki vibe to it.
Yeah, yes.
Good.
That definitely has. I guess this game is definitely the culmination of a.
Whoa.
Oh.
Oh God, choosing maths against
Ah.
Whoa. Oh my God.
Oh, I'm now in Aquanet. Okay.
There's so much here.
Yeah. This is definitely an oh.
The wobbly effect is not great.
It's already a lot. This is already a surprising amount in one go. I was not expecting this.
Whoa.
The Triton in the background just glitching out is definitely
Hell yeah.
the lost city of the deep web.
We found Atlantis.
Mm-hmm.
This is where the pirate base sunk.
Motherboard textures, of course. But yeah, no, this game is basically a walking simulator, but themed around internet. So there's a lot of finding bizarre visuals from place to place. There's a decent amount of, there's like the tiniest little jostling of political commentary. It's not super spicy. It could stand to be spicier, in my opinion. But
taking the amusingly weird but not trying to be overly political kind of
yeah, it's kind of like, this is about pointlessly buying things, and you can have a combo meter for big buying score points. I'm like, yeah, huh? The more things you buy, the more likes you get. I'm like, that's good. That's still pretty baby town in terms of
Yeah, it's just mechanics. It's not even a narrative or statement.
But I like these test card swordfish.
It looks nice.
Yeah.
And that's what matters.
Yeah. In the same like spaces like Yume Nikki, LSD Dream Simulator on
Oh, yeah.
PS1.
Yep.
That game was
Definitely
terrifying.
an inspiration in this game.
Mm-hmm.
The game was terrible.
Mm-hmm.
Did not
It always
enjoy-
did smack of someone's art project that they'd managed to get funding for.
Yeah,
Yeah.
someone let us make this. Absolutely.
Yeah, it's like in the PS1 era of we just figured out how to like develop games pretty fast, and we have the software to make it fun
Mm-hmm.
and good. What is sort of like the game, like the safe game to make? We don't know yet. Let's do shit. Let's just try it out. And then LSD came out, and then I feel like the PS1 did have a lot of good like artsy games.
Mm-hmm. Early PS1 had really cheap software development kits, to the point where they were, you could essentially send some cash in a mail order to Sony, and they would send you an SDK. So there was lots and lots of indie games being made, and a lot of them were okay. All right.
Oh, this is soothing.
Yeah, a lot of them were intentionally, well, not intentionally, a lot of them were, very, very budget and janky. Some of them built into larger things, but a lot of them were super experimental. It was also like one of the first pieces of hardware that could handle CD quality audio and simultaneous 2D and 3D art.
I did not know that.
Yeah.
I do remember the early games of downloading game music, and it was all in bloody MIDI files.
Yes. The premium Neopets experience.
Oh, yes.
Socrates.
Oh, yeah.
Who are you? Brings you to this old forsaken place.
I fell.
You're trapped in here forever, just like me. You're gone. He's on the toilet. Stupid. Is that Chozai's blade?
Yes.
Oh my god. I'm scared.
Oh god, I'm being timed.
Skills.
First person games are hard. I'm doing my best. I'm sorry if this is nauseating.
Oh. Feeling lonely?
Is that all of them? I don't see any others.
Definitely got one hidden in the entranceway.
Yeah.
Maybe I have to talk to him again. Oh.
I think I got them all.
Yeah, maybe you have to talk to him again. Within the time limit.
Try again. Okay.
Yeah, probably.
Boo. Alright.
You're not the chosen one. Show your skill.
Show me your
Pay
moves.
the bill.
Moves.
I want to take you for a ride.
Dun. Oh god, they're up there.
My.
Which?
That's not fair. Just let the timer.
Yeah, I'll let the timer run up. But they're. Oh no. There we go.
Oh my god.
I believed in myself.
Master Sword. Nathan Blades, truly.
Nathan Blades, Master Swordsman. Yes. How to see
I'll
things
show
as
you
they
how
are.
to see. First, you prove to be your eyes worthy pictures. Bye.
Sorry, I was kind of like, I actually can't really have to say. I want to see what's behind you, or you give me the deep lore. Otherwise, fuck off. So I have to take pictures of outside the temple, huh?
This used to be a peaceful place. Its inhabitants kind. I'm sure it was, Socrates.
Oh, there's actually quite a few photo points here.
What do we have to do?
I have to continue to keep taking pictures until I'm told to stop, apparently. Interestingly enough, this doesn't, save the pictures that you take, unfortunately. I guess because you can take a bunch of random ones and you wouldn't want that clogging up the space. But some of the vistas in this are genuinely quite pretty.
Oh, can you take a photo of the door behind you? Yeah, the door to the left.
It's a big special lock one. I need, I guess, the camera that I get from Socrates to be able to take those photos.
That might be it.
Yeah, I guess by being a walking simulator with a level of limited interaction, there's only so many, like, abilities they can give you at once and then need to gate some, so there's actually, like,
some
progression.
level of gameplay involved.
Yeah.
I'm curious what he meant by, I'll show you how to see the world for what it truly is. I wonder if we're gonna get some weird flesh textures instead.
I mean, you know, the end game of this could definitely, with a little bit of audio work and interface screwery, like pretty horror-esque. Because already some of the spaces of this were kind of like, ooh, that's kind of glitchy and fucked up. Interesting. So I wonder how far they would push that if they wanted to.
I was not enough of the games do the surprise at where actually a horror game twist and get it right. I'm trying to even think of some off the top of my head.
I mean, you know, technically Doki Literature Club, but you also had to play a really bad visual novel for 2 hours before it got to the horror game.
I think Undertale with the flowy stuff. That scared the shit out of me.
Yeah, some of that was kind of like, oh, actually, yeah. The fact that it kind of force-closed the game definitely made me jump.
Was the texture, like the aesthetic switch from you had these very simple but charming sprites to Photoshop mishmash hell monster flower. Like that was terrifying.
Yep, absolutely agree. She thought the Flowey boss was a lot better than Azure Dreamer, just on aesthetic.
Oh, sure, yeah. I guess by that point, it was like, okay, we're going to commit to the specific aesthetic of the game as a whole, rather than the weird interfacey one. Because I don't know. There's definitely book club-esque subtext to the way that game works. I've not played it enough. I've not played it recently enough to be able to kind of be like, oh yes, these were the themes and topics it wanted to explore. If you turn to page 5 of your textbooks, you'll learn.
But there's a Cyberpunk Book Club textbook.
Maybe one day. Maybe after we do enough of these, I could probably do some write-ups. You know, I definitely could talk about AI, the Somnium Files, Astral Chain, and Psychopaths
Cops.
as like cyberpunk cop vid games. How they discuss the ideas therein could probably be quite interesting.
Have you played the Psychopaths game yet?
I have it. It's on the list, but I haven't played it yet.
Ooh.
So when that manifests, I will let you know, because I know that you're also a fan of the anime.
Yeah, I fucking love Psychopaths.
Shockingly, I've not got around to watching that yet. Again, it's on the list of...
It's pretty good.
It's really good, yeah. I need to pick up the 3rd season. Came out.
Ooh, yeah. I didn't know that. Can you please tell me how many more I need to do? I'm done. Okay, good.
Take this last.
Sorry, I'm like... Go ahead.
Don't get addicted to drugs or data.
Whatever, man.
Bye.
And
Don't drink the hemlock like I did.
Glitch
lens. Oh, what's it look like?
E to activate lens of glitch. Ooh.
Oh, that makes the game better to look at.
Yeah, actually.
Spin around, just have a look at the wall behind you. Just out of curiosity. Did it look like that anyway? No, it didn't. Just colour off. Never mind.
I noticed that there were certain things that had this.
Whoa.
That's quite funky.
Huh.
To connect the info. Okay, interesting. So
not to get too invested in this game's lore, but there was like the murals did show eyeballs. So I wonder what that was about. Huh. Oh.
Oh no, that was actually a restricted area. Oh, this fan is busted.
Oh, we have to help it.
It's clogged
Save
with
the fan.
malware.
Be nice to fan.
Did that do anything?
It's probably like to drain the water.
Oh, it suddenly becomes like a Mario 64 level.
Yeah.
I clearly seem to have accidentally made progress.
Hate it when that happens.
I mean, it's fine. I wasn't going to kind of make a bounds of being like, oh yes, I will. I have to clear all the clogged fans in the area. I see.
Look at that amazing Eye of the Illuminati to the right. Other right.
Oh.
Anime Eye of the Illuminati. That's fantastic.
It doesn't. No, not doing anything. I mean, can I warp to it? Nope, it's just there. It's just there.
It's just aesthetic.
Gravity Falls, what's it called, maybe? Or...
Oh, right, Bill Cipher.
Could be.
I haven't actually watched that much Gravity Falls. I've watched a handful of the episodes that have like no stakes to them, and I apparently the plot stuff is actually really good, so I should probably
Yeah, it's on my list of it's one of those series I can't find what it's actually airing on. I mean, I didn't look too hard, but
oh, okay. Sure thing, boss. I would assume the new Disney streaming service has it.
Yeah.
But then also you would have to use the new Disney streaming service, and I'm good.
Yes, I've definitely watched all of The Mandalorian on that perfectly legally.
Because it's so available in the UK right now.
Me too. I love to use my Disney Plus subscription to watch hit show Mandalorian.
This stream is sponsored
Pascal
by Disney
Pedro.
Plus. Please Disney, sponsor me. I need your money. I'll sell out.
You
No,
have so much.
I won't take Amazon bucks, but I'll absolutely take Disney bucks. Sure. That Switch clearly did a thing, but I don't know where it goes to.
Yeah.
I'm being surprisingly unobservant. Well, not surprisingly, unsurprisingly unobservant. Did connect.
On the topic of the Mandalorian, what is our opinion on our favorite character, Baby Yoda?
Sure is a thing Twitter didn't shut up about for a month.
Yeah. I still thought the best character in it was the droid, to be perfectly honest. The
Taika Waititi bot.
Genuinely voiced by Taika Waititi?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh,
it
wow.
is, isn't it? Yeah, no. Yeah, so I have heard that.
Interesting casting. I'm into it.
Mm.
No, I am not. I have watched very little Star Wars, so I kind of felt that trying to tune into like a dedicated TV show would probably mean very, very little to me. But
see, when it comes to Star Wars, I have very specific taste. I watch it for giant spaceship porn. Bigger starships, fantastic. Big fight scenes, brilliant. But problem with it is that's the last few movies have been a bit lackluster in that. The art books have had some spectacular designs for things, but they just decided to reuse the Star Destroyer model that they used in Rogue One for cheapness, which was quite disappointing. So no interesting ship design.
I've seen Rogue One. I decided that while I was a shop. Okay, sure NPC. Terrifying NPC. Wow. What's good?
Acid drop.
A newcomer. Welcome to the memory. In here, we evaluate temporary information storage management efficiency. Wow, that was a mouthful. This place was also used to house Aquanet's source code. However, not everyone gets access to the core servers. I see you have a card. That means you are legit. The storage items in this room can actually be purchased with it. They are wired so they operate this facility's secret passages. It's a secret, so don't tell. Oh, she's called Acid Drop because she looks like Angelina Jolie acid burn in Hackers. I see.
Ah.
Try finding clues around the room by buying just the right amount of storage. Fragmentalization of memory is crucial in computing. I know you'll do well on this trial. Oh, cool. Maths puzzle's fun. If you feel like you messed up, talk to me. I'll reset the memory and storage units. Okay.
Well,
Okay,
this is your stream, Nathan. We'll all keep quiet and not let it spoil the puzzle for you.
So I have to buy them in an order to basically do some kind of equation, and they all have different values on them. Cool. But what's the value that I need to actually open the door? Oh.
X is 3, IY 6. So.
Okay.
3 and
So
6.
nine. Okay. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
Oh
right,
no.
Okay. Right. Maths is hard.
Oof. I could sense you being stressed by that.
Yeah, no, I was genuinely expecting it to be a time, and I'm very glad that it wasn't. When we played Subsurface Circular, there's a point near the end of the game where one of the robots is just kind of like, so there were 3 men, one was a blacksmith, one wore the color red, and the other was called Ishmael. And I'm like, oh, fuck that. And in fact, after you get it wrong the first time, the game just basically like, do you want me to just solve this for you so you don't have to do it? I'm like, please. Although if you were going to do that, why did you even try and make me do the thing?
Uh-oh. Z is odd number, round up to
X, Y, and X. Okay, so let's go and double check what those values were instead of me just adding them together and ignoring what was X and what was Y. X is 3 and Y is 6. Okay. 12. It's not a round number, so that's fine. Okay, I just have to buy 12 things. Cool. That was less miserable than I was expecting. 10.
and 1 and 1.
12.
Oh, no, that works.
I'm lazy.
I'm overthinking
It's
this.
fine.
Well, into the Cyberdome.
And then the last one's going to be logarithmic functions or something like that. I know. I know that is a thing. I don't know what that thing entails, and I'm too scared to find out.
Let's write as parabolic equation.
There's a reason why I do words for a living and not math. Whoop. Ooh.
Whoa.
Oh, this thing is actually a sculpture that exists in real life.
I think I've seen it. It's in.
It's a sculpture in Prague. It rotates.
It's in Prague, yeah.
It's real cool.
It's what's his face? Kafka.
It's super neat. Ah, that's cool. I wasn't expecting that kind of reference in here in this video game. That's amazing.
Yeah, a little obscure, but it's good.
Well, we did when we were talking about this. We were kind of like, how obscure do the references go in this video game? And I guess, you know, when it's not talking about 420, it can also talk about like interesting.
12 times 3.
Okay.
So 36.
Yeah. Okay. 36. Thank you. Any other puzzles that I need to solve? Nope, that one's next. So 36. Oh, wait, so 36 and then Y plus 36, so another 6, so that's
42.
42, thank you. Right, let's go and enter in 42, I guess. Is there more? Fuck.
Oh.
No.
No, we did that already.
Okay.
Yeah,
42.
that's the one we did.
Right. So I actually have to go and look at these now.
Got to get a Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy reference in somewhere.
20, 30, 40.
I like how we have to buy numbers with
2.
bigger numbers.
Hey, okay.
Whoa. And then the statue rotates, unlocks the door to Father Adrianus.
Later. Oh, the anime Illuminati eye is actually on the credit card as well. That's fun. I actually have an enamel pin of an anime Illuminati like eye. So yeah, no, this is very on brand for my own kind of like vaporwave interactions. I feel incredibly called out. Right. Well, mostly I've just been kind of like guessing how these kind of connect to each other, and it doesn't seem to mind how I do it. So yeah. Oh, there's people here now.
Yeah.
People chilling outside. All right. This is definitely more intrigue than I was expecting, but I do wonder where this is actually even going. This is the way out. Yeah, here we go. Oh yeah, there are a ton of people now.
Hey.
Need
Fuck
more
the acid
Beppis to work in the vineyard tonight.
Need more Bippus?
So, what do you say about this? Want to restart your room, set your memory? Nah.
No.
Be sure to subscribe to my tutorial channel.
Cozy. Okay.
So there are people now, and there's energy flowing. Let's see if I can get to if in the next 15 minutes I can get to another area, and then we can kind of call it a stream, and we can kind of do the closing. But where does all this power lead? I guess I just follow the wires around. Because we were supposed to try and get to the other side, and then the thing kind of collapsed on us. So. Neat that it's populated, but there's also all the way up there, but I don't really know what to do with all that.
No, that's where you
I flipped a switch before, yeah.
Yeah.
But because these kind of like NPCs who are always on their phones don't really like do anything, they're just like, yes, these are other random users in the area. I see what my mate Socrates is saying. What's he about? I need glitch lens controls. Well, I already know that. I don't want to play the mini games, so I guess I'm good. Never mind.
Bye.
Bye. Oh, I mentioned like earlier in the thing, but I might as well mention again because it's worth it. The soundtrack to this game is also a separate thing you can purchase on Steam. And as I've been playing, it's been feeling worth it. The range of like actual music in this is much larger than I was expecting, because it's like, is it just going to be the one vaporwave meme all the time, and then actually it's got a surprisingly wide range of music in it.
Yeah. Apparently this game was kickstarted.
Yeah.
So it had actually like actual funding and like time poured into it.
Processing.
Oh no.
Ooh. Just a pool of Nickelodeon gack right there. Doesn't do anything, but ooh. Yeah, I love me some square waves.
Ooh.
That probably electrocutes me if I touch it, so I'm not gonna.
Good job, you destroyed it.
Cool. Didn't mean to, I'm sorry.
Oh, watch out, Nathan.
Oh, yeah, I walked too fast.
Oh, you wait for it to get past behind you.
Snuck some actual gameplay up on you and it's causing trouble.
Yeah.
Or do it. Possibly do it sideways.
Oh, sure, so I can see. Hey, good suggestion.
Hero.
You've played video games before, I can tell.
Do it again.
You're calling yourself out. Play the game.
Oh,
whoa!
Who's this person?
Cyberwoman. Or man.
Hey, I like the hat. The 5 o'clock shadow, maybe not so much. You know what they say. You're as good as your business. Tell me. He's moonwalking. Fuck off. Tell me.
Is that supposed to be Michael Jackson?
What is your business, little one, with a beard like that?
I mean, the moonwalking.
Browsing. Nothing like a bit of surfing, eh? Okay, let me tell you my business. Money, success, knowledge, you hear me? Yeah? Are you afraid of success? What does that mean?
Painful smile.
It means watch your back. Trust is a two-way street, you know.
Give all.
Absolutely. Oh man, a smart one. People never visit this place. I assume you want out, correct? This place? This is Aquanet's graphics processor unit. Aquanet is, in very basic terms, NATEM's first server. Everything used to happen here. With time came more sites, and this one was forgotten. Doesn't even get maintenance anymore. Are you headed to GeoCity?
Oh god.
I'll help you out. Remember, it requires I use the editor. It requires a gargantuan amount of energy. Come back to me when you've fixed all 3 temples.
Gotcha.
Go get
Your
'em,
subscriber
tiger.
pound just tripled.
Uh-huh.
Rawr.
I mean, hey, you know, I'll be a fucking e-boy for the creds.
Don't post cringe, Nathan.
No.
You'll lose subscriber.
Oh no. But all I ever make is cringe. You said me play tabletop RPGs. Ooh, what points I see. Is there anything else interesting I can do in this zone before I teleport? I'm liking this haunting, echoing piano for this area.
Yeah.
It does fit quite well.
No, I don't need to take a picture of the vending machine. You know, just take a picture of every vending machine I see, like I'm a Japanese, like I've done, like, it's my first time going to Tokyo. Look at all these vending machines, how strange. I must take a picture and get in the way of literally everyone.
Wow, look at these vending machines sell just cars. That's so weird and strange, but also like not at all uncool. And I wish we had those in my country.
You just imagine it. You just imagine it in Manchester. They'd be kicked in and graffitied. About 5 minutes.
Yeah, wouldn't last for very long. We used to have a rent-a bicycle kind of setup. And it's, you know, rent-a bicycles and rent-a scooters are popular in all sorts of places. They've been super successful in London. I've seen scooters all around Paris and everything. We just threw all our bikes in the fucking lake. Just threw them all into Manchester Canal. It was genuinely horrendous.
It was pretty brilliant when you just turn all the app on and just sigh. Just a big line of them lining the canal.
People have been dredged. People have had to dredge them for years. It's been a genuine issue. People are garbage.
I shouldn't laugh, but it doesn't surprise me in the slightest.
Right, is there anywhere else I can go here now that I've broken that laser gate?
Is there
So they had
nothing
the-
up there?
I could go up here this
Is
entire
there
time.
nothing in the path? Was there nothing in the path you opened?
I don't think so. I looked, but I maybe now that this gate is broken, I can actually use these to do something. Because I already lit that up and got up there, so that's fine. But
Because you need to restore the temple.
yeah, but I don't think maybe I've been unobservant. Oh. The music cut out. So.
Perhaps you have.
No, that. Those little Nickelodeon GAC places are spawn points. I see. No, it's not secret ones. Just ones that give me likes. That's fine. I don't see anything weird. But
it's the old. What thing have you not? Have you just walked
Yeah,
past? And
well, I've
not
just
poked,
managed to
kind of?
like accidentally stroll past. This switch is clearly useful, but I can't reach the other side. It's too far. Oh, there's also the waypoint thing. You can set a waypoint down and teleport back to it, but it's not used super often, so I always keep forgetting that it's there. I'm wondering if that's a thing that I need to use to get past. Although, if we're hitting a point where I'm suddenly now stuck as to what to do next, it might actually be a sensible stopping point. Because there is actually another stream I have to do today, but not on my channel. So I'm wrapping up a little earlier than I normally do to play some Net Battlers, which is a fun time. But in that case, yeah, I'm gonna go and hang out with my boy, the fisherman. Check my quest tracker. Is that actually? Oh, there's actually maps for everything. Okay, that's useful.
Looks very Chip's challenge.
The pixel art. There's some of the pixel art in this game is actually really nice.
It reminds me of the house is Legend of Zelda: Link to the Past.
It reminds me a little bit of Mother 3 in a way as well, actually, where it's like shaded. But yeah, this has been Broken Reality. Let's go and close out the show the way that we like to, and talk about the other themes in this game. So
close out this game 20k in debt.
Yeah, that's the true Vaporwave lifestyle, spending money irresponsibly and still not being happy on the other side of it. So mood.
You obviously didn't spend enough.
If I'd spent a little bit more, it would have got it there. But yeah, on Cyberpunk Book Club, after playing our game, we like to talk about its ideas and the concepts that were in it and what we could take away either into thinking about other Cyberpunk games or in our own projects, what kind of ideas we might want to take away. So Ruben, after getting a couple hours of Broken Reality in your eyes, what kind of ideas do you want to take away?
The idea of taking ibuprofen for head.
Yeah, visually intense,
Straight in the
just
eyes.
a little bit. I might need to lie down in the dark room for 10 minutes before I do more streaming today.
But no, I thought that was like the designs, because Vaporwave is a very aesthetic genre, and it had the aesthetics done really well. I liked all the cute little visual puns, like the anime Illuminati eye, like the hints of, or like the error message fish. Those were very clever, and it was a very good piece of Vaporwave art if we measure it by the genre's own standards. Didn't really get like a sense like I'm fine with it. I wasn't really blown away. I did find it very exciting that at the end, like when we met the admin, that there was suddenly a story being introduced.
Yeah.
No Vaporwave game has ever done that before. That story. So that was cool. I would say I'm sort of interested in seeing where this game might lead, but I don't want to take that risk on my eyes.
Yeah, you definitely have to kind of go in with a clear head and maybe a well-lit room if you're going to go and play it for it doesn't feel like it has a very long runtime, but at the same time you don't want to literally burn yourself out trying to work your way through it. I think one of the ideas that I found quite interesting in it was oh gosh, I had the thing. That's very professional of me. Very good, Nathan. Give me a vamp for time. Like Tom, what were your kind of feelings about the game? While I try and recollect what that thought was and get it again.
Well, for sort of background for visual for watching, the combination of although it's very garish in its colour scheme, the actual match with the aesthetic and the music especially sort of just works to be very nice and quite chill. Also quite nice to see sort of one of these style of games that you pick up on Steam and it hasn't just been one of these horrible descending into terrible memes that'll be dated in about 6 months' time. Because you see far too many of those popping up.
Yeah. It's interesting when games have current references in them that then immediately date them after the fact. I'm sure the people who are localizing the first Phoenix Wright game are now kicking themselves about having a character that speaks in Leet Speak, being like, God, why did we do that? There was no way that could have actually been relevant beyond that year. And there's definitely a couple of contemporary jokes in this, because obviously Vaporwave is very much like late 80s, early 90s nostalgia, but there's a couple of jokes like the Pirate Bay, spelled B-A-E, as like one of the ads in it, and Chronic the Hedgehog, which are very current kind of jokes-ish. You know, they're definitely 2010s jokes in a game about the 90s, and it was like that kind of sits out of place just a little bit, but also that is the kind of level of trash irony that I would expect from a game about Vaporwave, I suppose.
Yeah, absolutely.
Actually, that kind of loops back to the point that I wanted to kind of speak about committing to commentary in the thing, because Cyberpunk as a genre, obviously, all about social commentary. Like, it doesn't exist, and like, if you're not commenting on the world that they're in and the systems that made it the way it was, it's impossible to have apolitical cyberpunk. And similarly, when we were talking about the kind of like the Vaporwave as a genre at the beginning of this session, I was comparing it a little bit to like pop art and how that is taking bits of consumerism and then repackaging that in a new, interesting and kind of ironic way as new art, and Vaporwave is definitely that. And there was little bits of the game that are like, hey, spend money to become popular. That's a piece of social commentary. I'm like, ish, I guess. There's definitely things that you could have done in terms of, I don't know, what things you were referencing and pulling from, and then what you were framing them as. Test card fish, really aesthetically cool, but like, you know, let me think of an example.
I was going to say, it's also a very careful line to walk when you're trying to preach across a point. You are, if you're going to go for it, if you go for it well, it kind of works. But it's when it's trying to come across as smug and referential, or
referential is never really the one to go. Ham-fisted, I can live with. I can live with a ham-fisted metaphor, because sometimes you want to talk about that capitalism is bad, and I'm like, I feel that's cool. But if it's like, capitalism is bad, sheeple, and you're like, well, you were so close, and then you made it about you.
I think what I adding to that, because you mentioned it doesn't really acknowledge its own source material, and of course Vaporwave is just a garbage sort of washing machine, like thrown in together. It's just like a big crock pot of stolen assets, basically, or familiar sort of like open source like pictures and images that we're familiar with, like Aeronescent, Windows, MS Paint, that kind of thing, but also like open source museum assets thrown into this digital style, and all of it is this giant like crock pot left to stew on an open fire of content production. But none of it really, like, is like you said, it doesn't acknowledge what it is built on. It's just like, here's a layer of paint. I won't tell you where I got the paint. I won't tell you where I bought the brush. I won't tell you what ideas are in this paint.
Well, this thing is built out of, it's just there. Yeah. I guess in a different world, because we talked about how this was like a game that was kickstarted, and I guess that means that there was a very specific team that put it together. With indie games like this, I wouldn't be surprised if it was like maybe 1 or 2 developers and then a number of like musicians they commissioned, for example. But there's definitely a different universe of this game where all the art assets were almost like zine art jam made by a group of people, like a collective that was then mashed into the space, because the game is clearly designed to look like a mishmash of lots of different things, but if it's all carefully curated and built by one person, there's an authenticity to that they're maybe not hitting. That would be maybe different from if it was a collaboratively built thing. I guess it's the difference between somebody building an elaborate sculpture in Minecraft Creative themselves and one that's built by like a dozen people working simultaneously, and you get a city either way, but you definitely get personal details and imprints on the work in if it's a collaborative work. Because I guess Vaporwave is a thing, one of the ways it's derided a lot in the same way that lo-fi hip-hop could be a bit derided, in that it's easy to make, quote unquote, and that, you know, it's taking a retro sample and then you're stretching it out, and then maybe you're putting some chord pads underneath, and then you're done. And yeah, but then because it's so easy to make something in that genre, the small things that you do to make it yours then stand out as what makes it that. You know, lots of people have tried to do Lisa Frank 420, the most iconic Vaporwave song. They've never quite hit the same way that that one was made, right? He's like, oh, I could do that in my sleep, but you didn't. You didn't quite.
It's very much the ones that are done well do stand out just because of that.
Yeah, although it's hard for Vaporwave to be iconic because it's so entirely in love with its own nostalgia. Like everything is built from like this, like what we what we talked about, because it's all like sort of pillaged from an aesthetic that doesn't, like, from a past that didn't really exist. Like Vaporwave is about the 80s that is in our collective memory, but like a production of it, staging of the 80s, all made by 20-year-olds that didn't actually get to experience the 80s. And that makes it just constantly, like, it's always looking back. It's not something that is looking forward. Like the example from Mark Fisher that I mentioned, there's called like new art movements and culture progress throughout time. If traditionalism has to cope with the new, and the new has to antagonize traditionalism in like new movements. Like look at Dadaism, look at Surrealism, those kinds of movements, like, and literary traditions. And Vaporwave doesn't, like, to me, doesn't feel like it has a new.
It's not pushing those boundaries. Yeah.
It seems like it's very comforting of like traditional images. It just puts it in it just puts as many of them as possible in the same sort of gallery. And then that is like, because Vaporwave is a museum that is just a gallery of things.
It is,
but there's
it's like an oral version of a Pinterest board of lots of different disparate ideas put into a single aesthetic space.
More a collage rather than a piece of art.
No, definitely.
It's a very good way to put it, yeah.
I guess...
it's...
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. Just like drawing on the pop art traditions of the Andy Warhol style mishmash of things, but then for the digital age. And then those pieces, they also have very little to say, I feel.
Yeah, I guess. I always have had a bit of a soft spot for pop art in the same way that I do with Vaporwave, in that it's kind of like, while it's not, it for the most part, it doesn't make any bounds of being essentially high art or highfalutin. Really, there's lots of kind of like, we're making cool stuff built out of the old stuff, and we think it's neat, and that's nice too. It's I guess there's a way that you can kind of have a good old chuckle about the world that we live in, and then sometimes it's kind of a serious poking at the depths of what it means, and then sometimes it's just a cool thing you've made out of the scrap you had to live in previously. And I suppose, like all art forms, it will change a little bit over time, or there's lots of different fractures as people move into different spaces, because there's been, when we've kind of talked a little about the different genres, there's like utopian Vaporwave that manages to be even cleaner and even shinier, and even kind of like very Apple 2.0 shiny Sims 1 level low poly kind of space, and that's the vibe it goes for. And then there's the kind of like vapor trap that is super gritty and a bit more aggressive, and it kind of leans in a more kind of like cyberpunk direction that has an edge and wants to kind of be poking at that. So, you know, I guess it kind of branches out over time. Broken Reality, I don't know which genre it wants to sit in, really. I guess it's trying to explore a little bit of every one of those genres as you move between the different worlds. We might find a super gritty world in the next one, or we might find one that's like super clean and an entirely different aesthetic. I'm interested in playing the rest of the game to see where it goes, because I don't know if it's going to go somewhere like super high concept, but I do want to see where it goes. It sounds super interesting. Right. So to go and round out the show, we go and talk about what we think Cyberpunk is to this game. And technically Broken Reality is not inherently as much as a Cyberpunk game as some of the other ones that we've come across, but there's definitely an overlap. So does anybody kind of already have an idea of what they think Cyberpunk is to this game?
The datascape, like having like the digital spaces that you can interact with physically, the Shadowrun way of like upload your consciousness to the web and walk around in the data zone. My cyberdom.
I feel the datascape should have tildes on either side of it. Exploration of the datascape, yeah. I mean,
I don't know why.
Go ahead.
I don't know why, if it was just the random inclusion of the katana in there, but I was almost getting a vaguely Snow Crash vibe to it. But I don't know.
No, they're definitely. I think that is kind of like a bit of a running theme of like Snow Crash and the involvement of East Asian aesthetic into I every so often I'm like, I think Snow Crash is a good book. I remember reading it in university and being really impressed with it, but just because I read something in university doesn't mean it aged well. One of the very, very few kind of like, nerdy Western culture sci-fi books with a black protagonist, so that's nice. But in other ways, the way that they treat the female lead in that book is fucking yikes, but the rest of it's actually quite clever, I guess.
Yeah.
The most offensive thing about that book to me is the 200 pages of like just weird Babylonian
Mesopotamian lore for no reason. Oh my god!
Yeah.
I skipped entire chapters of that, and the book still made sense.
It's just there because Neil Stephenson's read a history. And he's like, this is cool. I'll put that in here.
A lot of sci-fi writers do. In the same way that high fantasy writers like to have a whole Wikipedia of all the deep background lore of their setting, sci-fi writers like to read a book about something esoteric and be like, I can make a dystopian world out of that.
I think the one book that I actually struggled with in that sort of ilk was, I don't know if you've come across Fearsome Engines, one of Ian Banks' ones.
I have read Player of Games by Ian M. Banks, but I've not read any of the others.
Yep. I couldn't finish it. It focuses on 3 characters, and the third character is... I'm trying to remember if it's that she's just supposed to be almost illiterate, but her chapter sections are written phonetically. So Fearsome Engines is spelled phonetically, and because I've got a reasonably high read speed, I just found myself grinding to a halt trying to translate these words in my head, and it was such a weird dissonance.
Yeah. Oh, that definitely would be a... I wonder what the audiobook of that would have been like.
Probably a nightmare for the poor sod reading it out.
Oh gosh, yeah. I think probably my reading of what Broken Reality thinks Cyberpunk is actually quite simple, of likes as the ultimate currency, which somebody, Ray, friend of the show Ray, very early on went like, is this Death Stranding, in which that game is also entirely centered around the acquisition of likes. So it's definitely a topic that's been, I guess, will be explored more in modern cyberpunk settings, talking about popularity as the main currency.
Social currency. But real.
I don't know whether, maybe because we're kind of in it right now, that kind of like idea makes me just incredibly tired. Yeah, I think if it wasn't something we were currently in the moment, I'd be like, ooh, that's really interesting and different. But I'm like, yeah, no, I know, I'm aware of this.
We're living it.
I'm streaming on the internet for other people's entertainment, so they check out my other creative work. I know how this goes.
It's gonna be, it's. There's only a couple of years left until there are like a whole slew of horror films gonna get made about social media influencers. There's gonna be one called Influenza because it's like influencers.
Oh, come on, that already exists. That has to exist somewhere.
But no, it's about like fake like Instagrammers that like the longer they're on, sort of like a video drone thing, where the longer they're on the like the longer they use the app, the more they horribly conform to like this monstrous idea of beauty and perfection.
Ooh, okay.
And it's got, man, I want David Cronenberg to make that. God, that would be sick.
I'd watch that.
Right. Thank you both for joining me on the show. It's been a fun time. I'm interested to play the rest of the game, although maybe with a guide so it doesn't take me literally forever. Where can we find you and your stuff that you might want to promote, Ruben?
I am on thefriendden.net, where you can read all of my fiction. It is queer, it is messy, it is genre crossing, which is a big selling point for publicists. If you're out there, hit me up. I'm also on medium.com. I'm a piece writer, sometimes under the name of Urban Friend Den, where you can read my thoughts on stuff like Metal Gear Solid or JoJo's Bizarre Adventure.
Cool.
Tom, do you want people to be able to find you?
No, I'll keep myself down as a consumer rather than a content creator, I think.
That is entirely fair. It's a long and difficult road that we tread, and we don't recommend it to everyone.
What is a creator without their purveyor?
Exactly.
Thank you for doing what you do.
Genuinely, thank you for supporting thank you for supporting creative people and letting them do the shit that they want to do. That's genuinely also important. I am your androgynous android game show host, Nathan Blades. You can obviously find me here on a semi-regular basis. No Thursday stream next week, but actually on Friday we are going to be playing the one-page RPG Hack the Planet with Austin / Corporate Geomancy, who normally does tabletop RPGs for Surprise Round RPG Twitch. I am super excited to go and play with another tabletop person that I really admire, so hopefully go and check that shit out. Aside from that, you can also follow me on Twitch, on Twitter, in the little below in the doobly-doo at PhantomArtsEnt. That's where I post all my creative stuff, so you can see other things that I've done. I'm going to have a lot of tabletop RPG work that I've written come out in 2020, including being part of a micro RPG anthology, which I will never shut up about once that releases, so look forward to that. And I talked at the very, very start of the show about an album that used samples from Phantasy Star Online, and I couldn't remember what it was. It's called Virtual Fantasy with the PH 2097, involving the artist Telepath. So yes, Virtual Fantasy 2097 for a very good Vaporwave album that uses Phantasy Star samples in it. It's really neat. And with that, I will see all you delightful children next time. Goodbye.
Ciao, ciao.
Cheers as always. Bye.